Whoa! Hey everyone! Today we're doing another wheel rewrite amazing video. And today Carl is the protagonist. This is a request from Nick Sterlino is my gay daddy. So we can mark that one off because we're doing it now. And next week, obviously, we've got Sam and Anna from The Walking Dead fan 001, 001, double 001. Um, and then, yeah, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to go after this. So, although the wheel rewrites are going to be coming to an end, I mean, there's still like 7 weeks. I mean, they might not be quite weekly, but there's roughly 7, 8, 9 weeks worth of content to come. So do not fret, unless like something really happens and the views massively drop off. But that won't happen, will it? Some people have said as well to edit these. You know what? If someone's out there who wants to edit them into like a video, like a cool compilation video, and put it on their channel, and I'll actively promote it. And obviously, I won't expect like any any if they were to make money off it, I wouldn't expect anything from it. You know what I'm trying to say? So if someone wants to do that and actually edit these down into like cool, bite-sized video, like 10-minute, 20-minute videos, feel free to do that. You have my full permission, as long as you're not just straight up, uploading my videos. If you're editing it like a cool compilation, you have honestly full permission to do that, and I'll actively promote it if it's done well. If it's like, if someone just slaps something together and calls it a day, then I might not promote that. But if someone like puts some effort into it and actually like does like a cool video, I'd actively promote that on the channel, and I'd link it in the videos if people want to watch just that instead of the raw footage. So yeah, that's all my preamble to go. Now today we've got the Carl rewrite. Now I'm afraid I might be a bit too close to the mic there, so sorry if I was blasting your ears. So we'll just get straight into it. I've made Sophia. I've made Sophia obviously a love interest, and then I've just thought, well, may as well Rick's family plus Shane be main characters, and then Carol and Ed. So that's 7 main characters. I think that works out, and all the others will just be background characters, really. Well, or minor characters. So that's how it'll be. So first, let's answer who is getting handcuffed on the roof. So I think in this universe, Carl probably gets lost. I think that's probably what happens. He's found by Morgan. He learns. I said Rick was never shot. Rick and his family were staying in their house along with Shane. They tried to evacuate during the. They did evacuate, but Carl, I don't know, maybe it's like a Kevin McAllister moment. He slept in, and he never. He was meant to somehow. Laurie, we'll blame it on Laurie. I don't know. Something happened one way or another, and they got split up. Like, I'm gonna say some walkers came through. Carl hid whilst the rest of the family ran. Carl was a bit too scared, so he hid in the house. And then when he came out, there was walkers, but he was saved by Morgan and Dwayne. Because Rick and his family hadn't been out the house, they don't know the zombie law, so Morgan taught that to Carl instead. And then Carl, even though I say Morgan probably told Carl to not go on his own, that he would go in a couple of days. But instead, Carl ignores Morgan's warnings and heads off on his own and leaves a note to say, here's a walkie-talkie, contact me and we'll find you too, kind of thing. I think that's probably what happens. So Carl heads off to the city, maybe not on the horse, maybe he just kind of walks, like a bit of a Forrest Gump moment. Heads to the city, gets surrounded. I'm going to say he gets saved by Sophia, just to start that little relationship. I think that'd be kind of cool. She's like, hey, you, the boy with the cooties in the tank. You cozy in there. To start that little bond at first, and then obviously as they get older, it will become like a proper relationship. And then that way Carl gets on the roof, gets saved by Sophia. Obviously Ed's like, Sophia, what the hell? Maybe he hits her or something, I don't know. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he like nearly hits her. And then Andrea is on the roof and she's like, guys, I am a good sniper, I swear to God. So she's shooting at walkers. And I don't know if it was Carl necessarily, or maybe it is Carl. Maybe he has handcuffs from the police station, and he like handcuffs her, and is like, "This is what my dad would do because you're putting our lives in danger." And then He gives the other people like, okay, we'll just leave you handcuffed for now, Andrea, because you were going a bit crazy. You weren't listening to people. And then, of course, later, I guess we could say T-Dog. T-Dog drops the damn key. Now, does Guillermo come with the group? Tails is a no. Heads is a yes. Yes! So... that means basically, same thing happens. They probably kidnap... I don't know, maybe they kidnap Carol. Who knows? Or they could kidnap Sophia. Maybe that's how it works. And they think that she's getting tortured. But Guillermo's like, sees that this is a bunch of kids. And, you know, pretty helpless. Carl and Sophia... I don't know if Carl and Sophia would go back. Because obviously Carl would be reunited with his family. We'd have the dad moment, but it'd be in reverse. Dad, Mom, you know. Shane. That little reunion. And I think... I don't think Carl would go, that's the problem. But maybe he does, maybe he sneaks off. Maybe Sophia doesn't, but Carl does. And then, or maybe both of them sneak off. They both sneak off into the rescue mission for Andrea. Obviously, Amy's probably going to lead it. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they kidnap Amy. Maybe that's what it works. But so Guillermo sees the kids, and he feels a bit sorry. So he's like, okay, I'm going to help you guys get back to your camp. And then, obviously, when he returns to the Vatos, he'll find... Vatos. I keep saying Vatos. Vatos. When he returns to Vatos, he finds that they're all dead. Anyway, so we've got to do the Morgan and Dwayne. I keep always saying that I probably should bump this up, but it's okay. It doesn't really matter too much. 6. One is alive, heads Morgan, tails Dwayne, and they join Season 3 after Axel's death, or whoever takes that death. Eastman role is not done in this case. Okay. So that's what happens. So heads it's Morgan, tails it's Dwayne. It's Dwayne. Okay, so Morgan actually died. Very sad. And Dwayne will be coming back in Season 3. I need to remember that. Dwayne is back in Season 3. Which makes sense, actually, because he's lost his dad. And it's kind of like... It'd be like a reverse of their story, wouldn't it? You know, when Dwayne met Carl first, he'd lost his dad. And now when Carl reunites with Dwayne, he's lost his dad. So I actually kind of like that. I think that's kind of cool. I'm glad actually Morgan died there. Not a sentence I'd normally say. Anyway, we've got Ed's death. So who was getting beaten up, or was beaten up in their tent and got devoured? Oh no. It's Dale. So maybe not I don't know, maybe he got a bit arsey with his tools, because obviously they left... I think it was Jim... Was it Jim's tools, actually? I think it was Dale's tools. I don't remember exactly. I think it was Dale's. Or was it Jim's? Damn. I actually don't remember. But I was going to say, in this universe anyway, it's Dale's tools. He got arsey, and I don't know, Shane like punched him in the face or something, so he had like a bloody nose. And maybe also, because they left Andrea behind and he was mad about that. So, you know, he was crashing out. They punched him in the face. Shane punched him in the face. He was in his tent, and then he gets eaten. Very sad for Dale. And then who was asking for toilet paper? Why the hell is the toilet paper? Gets jumped by a Greg Nicotero zombie. It's Louis. It's Louis. Louis Morales. So little Louis Morales gets jumped on by a zombie. Poor Morales would be like, maybe Miranda. Maybe it's just Miranda. Maybe it's Miranda and Morales. They're both like crying over their son's death as he's in their arms. And then who secretly got bitten and then requests to be left by a tree. Oh, is it? Is it? Oh, it is. Miranda. Okay, so during that whole... well, actually, maybe we'll rework the Jim death. So I think Louis reanimates. Morales has like gone off to check on Eliza, as they're both cradling their son, similar to how Andrea cradled Amy. And I think what happens is Miranda doesn't actually shoot Louis in this universe. She just lets Louis bite her, and then Morales kills his zombified son. And Miranda's obviously like been bitten on the shoulder, wherever it may be, or maybe it's on the we'll say the shoulder. She's bitten on the shoulder, and she decides to be left by the tree. So poor Morales has lost both his son and his wife, and now only has his daughter left. And actually, I'm gonna skip this whole leave for the family. I don't like it personally. I hate that they bring Morales back that way. So do you know what? In this universe, Morales, no one leaves. That way we have more characters. So why not? So we're going to add Dr. Jenner as well. Yes. And then let's do the CDC explosion. 2. Oh, do we do 2 or 4? Should we do in the middle? Should we go in the middle? Do you know what? I'm going to go in the middle. I'm going to go with 3. Just because we've allowed like 3 extra characters. 4 extra characters to come along. So we're going to meet in the middle there. We're going to do three deaths for the CDC explosion. Let's go. So obviously, before we go to the CDC, we head back to the nursing home and find that all the old folks are dead. Oh no. So Eliza's won? Bro. Daryl? Oh no. And I'm really hoping it's Morales just to make it make sense, but no, not Guillermo. Damn it. Okay. This is very confused. I might veto. I think I'm gonna veto Guillermo. All right. I don't care. I'm vetoing Guillermo, and I'm swapping him out for Morales. And it's my rewrite, so I can do whatever the hell I like. The reason why is I kind of like the idea of Morales being like, Jenna is like, okay, let's leave. Rick, or maybe Carl does the convincing. Carl's like, sir, you're a scientist. The world, hopes that you, or the world wants you to say, the point of your position is that you're meant to save the world, and the world needs your help, and you shouldn't give up. Giving up is wrong. And I don't know, something about that kind of just sparks Jenna to pretty much straight away release the doors. But I think Morales is like, I've lost my wife, I've lost my son, my daughter is just going to have a similar death. This is a quick, easy way out for both of us. So Morales stays with his daughter, everyone else is getting the fuck out. But then Daryl is like, Merle, I'll meet you out. I can't let him kill his daughter. And Merle's probably like, you're going to risk your life over insert Hispanic slur here. And Daryl's like, it's a little girl, man. So Daryl's there, and Merle's like rushing out, little baby brother. And they're like holding Merle back because he's trying to get back in the building. And Daryl's trying his best, but him and Morales like end up having a fight because Morales is like, my daughter's not, you're not taking my daughter out there, etc. So, but Daryl is just, and I think Daryl actually does hit Morales, knock him out, grabs Eliza, is rushing out. I think maybe like Merle actually sees him about to run to the broken down window, right? And then the explosion goes off, and Merle just watches Daryl just be obliterated. Wow. Peak television. And Merle becomes the main character now. So yeah, that's what we're going with. Eliza, Daryl, and Morales all wiped out like that. Because why not? We lose the whole Morales family. Oh, not Carl. And Daryl as well. Crazy. Now we do a chaos roll. Now I don't know. I'm a little bit done with the chaos roll. I can't lie, but we'll stick with it for a bit. But if it's really boring, I might just skip it. Let there be carnage by roll. Oh, great. Okay, so that's fun. We get to roll 3 chaos rolls. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we'll do it like this: 31, 22, 55. So 31. Well, 31. Any characters who would normally receive a substantial injury die instead, for example, losing a limb or being kidnapped and tortured. Oh. I don't think anyone loses a limb. No one loses a limb. No one's kidnapped this season. And the only person tortured is Randall. So, yeah. Well, that doesn't really work. But, oh well, 22. Let there be car. We're going to roll 3 more, guys. 55. 5. Time. Oh, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Listen. We're not doing that. I don't care. We're going to roll 3 more anyway. So 44. Everybody who died in season 1 actually. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Everyone who died in season 1 actually had Dr. Jenner's assistant feed them an alive cure from the grave. They all received and joined the group. Just because it's just happened, I just don't want. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. If it was later on, I maybe would do that. 62. A nuke. Oh my god, no. 62. So we do 2 nukes? Do we do 2 nukes? Do we double this? 16 characters die? We couldn't even do that. 8 character deaths. That would be all of them. That would literally be the entire cast. That'd be the entire cast and one person from here if we did the nuke once. I don't know if I want to kill the entire cast. We could split them in two. Do you know what? We'll do the nuke. We'll do the nuke, but we'll just do 4. We won't do 8. Chaos rolls are out of control. The 2 nukes hit each other. 4 deaths from a nuke. The U.S. military. We're heading to Fort Benning. The military start nuking, and we're like, there's a bomb shelter, but 4 people are unable to get to said bomb shelter. Oh, Murrell's already off the list anyway because I upgraded him, so that helps. Oh, and Andrea's missing, obviously. Andrea chopped her hand off. Oh no. Amy, Jackie. So it was a random nuke. We headed to Fort Benning. We listened to Shane. What do we get? We head to Fort Benning. Nuke goes off. U.S. military gone awry. Oh, not Guillermo. No. Listen. It's time. It's time for Guillermo. I'm sorry. I tried my best. I already vetoed it once. I'm not vetoing it twice. So Guillermo goes 2. And you know what? We'll do 1 major as well. So we'll do 3 of them and 1 major. No. 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 The wheels decided, guys. What can I say? So Merle, Jackie, Guillermo, and Amy were unable to make it to the bombshell when the nuke went out. We wait a couple of months, I guess, and then we continue heading, I don't know, north or something. I don't know how far Herschel's farm is from Fort Benning, but I'm going to say it wasn't within the blast nor the fallout radius, the winds carried or whatever it may be. And so we sadly lose Amy. We lose Amy, Jackie, Guillermo, and Merle to a nuclear bomb. That's crazy. Maybe Merle's like the one to like close the doors and save everyone or something. So he has a big heroic moment. It was like with what they did with Gareth, where they tricked us into believing he was going to be a major character this season, only for him to die in the 3rd episode. But in this case, he dies in the 2nd episode. Now who gets shot? I'm just gonna say Sophia, because I just think it works better. So Sophia gets shot, and we're just gonna say that Otis did it. I'm just gonna kill off Otis regardless. I like Otis, he's cool, but I don't really like the whole Green family thing. So I think Otis is just gonna get the same death that he normally gets. And then who gets lost and shows up later in the barn? Well, there really isn't many characters, so let's see. Oh, does anyone care? Does anyone care? I hate to be mean to T-Dog, but I don't think anyone liked him that much, really. So T-Dog, they're looking for T. Maybe Carl's like, we gotta look for him. You know, Sophia was shot. Sophia gets shot. We rush her by Otis. We accidentally hit her. So be it. But secretly before that, he found poor T-Dog and put him in the barn. And obviously, we also have all the Greens join us now as well. But we'll get rid of Otis, actually. Done. And then who's going to be killing Otis? So it's got to be a main character. Which one of these characters goes to get the supplies for Sophia along with Otis? Figures. I mean, I see that happening. I feel like Ed, maybe partially because he blames Otis for shooting his daughter, or maybe just because he generally is a coward, he shoots Otis and leaves him to dead. And then, of course, we find T-Dog in the barn. Very sad moment. Maybe Rick's the one to put him down. Everyone's bawling their eyes out over poor T-Dog. And then who is getting the Dale death? So, contemplating in the field about what's just gone by. Oh, Rick. So Rick wanted to spare Randall, believing in the rule of law. Maybe Shane was the opposite. They were bickering back and forth, and then Rick went out to think about his thoughts, and then of course he was attacked and killed by a walker. His stomach ripped open, and poor Carl. Maybe he does the said a sorry, brothers. I'm sorry, Dad, and then puts him down. Very sad. Poor Rick. Who kills Randall? Therefore, is killed by another group member. Owen, who is that? So we'll do who kills Randall. Now, Carl has immunity, Sophia has immunity, so the closest next person is Shane, and I'm sorry, that's too good. So what I'm going to say in this universe is, obviously Rick and... this is already pretty brutal. So, Carl and Rick were bickering about Randall. Both these men have different idealized worlds, and they were both ruling the group, and obviously Carl's in the middle. But Carl's our main character, and obviously after his father died, Rick died, Shane took over, and straight away, I think, just executed Randall publicly, not honouring Rick's wishes like the group wanted to do at first. So I think Carl ends up confronting Shane about this, he pulls a gun on him, and he shoots and kills Shane, and then obviously Shane comes back, and then he puts Shane down again. I think we'll go with that. I think that's pretty cool. Now, in this universe, we probably know about the Walkers turning, because obviously Jen is with us still. So, yeah. So, Carl ends up killing Shane both times. Wow. Our group is after that nuke really did a number. I mean, imagine if I went the full shebang with the nuke. It would have been pretty mental. It would have been pretty mental. Okay, so herd attack. If this is a 4, the group is cooked. Okay, 2. So 1 for Jimmy, 1 for Patricia. That's okay. So who will we get? Not gonna lie, I don't want it to be anyone. No! No! Oh, poor Dr. Jenner. I like Dr. Jenner, but it's okay. Dr. Jenner. So Dr. Jenner's running away with his lab notes, gets grabbed by walkers, and maybe this is like a low point for the group because they were like, you know, we're screwed now. We've got no. And Jimmy can be the same death. He's in the RV and gets munched on. So that is now everyone we've lost. The group feel very demoralized after losing Jenna. The hope is dead kind of thing. That's what's going down. And so our group is Carl, Sophia, Laurie, Carol, Ed, GOATED. As I see the really weird GOATED Ed videos. Very strange. Jim's still going. Glenn. I guess Glenn and Maggie are a thing. Beth, Patricia, and Herschel. Very cool. And then, well, actually, because not the entire group, because who gets separated and ends up being with Michonne? Carol. Ooh. I kind of like that. That's different. So Carol will not... They assume that Carol died as well. You know, maybe that Carl and Sophia bond more because of that. Because obviously, you know, one's lost their mother, one's lost their father. But in actual fact, Carol was in the woods and got saved by Michonne. Cool. Now we get to add a random character who, during the winter time jump, joined the group. Which I think is probably good. It's good to add some new... Save Lot Bandit 2! And the actor's called Jack. So we're just going to call this guy Jack. So Jack has joined the group. Let me add Jack. Hang on a minute. There we are. So we've got Jack. He's joined the group. Cool. I just think that's kind of cool. Yeah, so a little bandit. Maybe the backstory is he like tried to rob the group, and the group like overpowered him, but Carl like spared his life, and the guy was like forever. Or maybe actually the backstory is, yeah, he tried to rob the group, but the group obviously outgunned him. He ran away. He was surrounded by walkers. He was good as dead, but Carl came in and saved his life, and so the guy felt, you know, very regretful for his past actions. So he instead joined the group. Now, I'm not going to do the whole Big Tiny thing. I think that what we'll do is we'll just give Big Tiny his death. I'm kind of bored with this thing. And I'm just going to add Axel and Oscar. And what we'll do instead is we'll... yeah, that's all we'll do. So, who killed Tomas? Now, I do need to add a new character, I think, to the main character. So, I think what we'll do is Glenn and Maggie seem a sure bet. Both of which probably will be, you know, in a relationship at this point. So I'm going to add both Glenn and Maggie to the main character wheel. Everyone else can stay back. But who kills... Wait, also, who loses a leg? Who gets bit on the leg first? I don't know if Herschel was a main character at this point. I actually completely forgot. But if he was main character build, I mean. But, okay, we'll do Maggie. So Maggie, instead, loses a leg. One-legged. And who kills Tomas? And at this point, we add Carl twice. Okay, let's go. Ooh, Sophia. I kind of like that. Sophia being the one to be like, shit happens. Puts the machete in his head. Yeah, why not? Okay, so cool badass moment for Sophia. Now we have Laurie's death. So who has some sort of medical complication and unfortunately dies? It's Carl. No, I'm joking. It's not Carl. Carl is surviving till at least season 11 anyway. Right, it can't even be shown. If it lands on something wrong again, then I'm invoking the Laurie rule. Well, Laurie rule is invoked regardless because it landed on Carol. Okay, so the Laurie rule is invoked. I'm sorry. It was close enough to Laurie anyway. Listen, Laurie gives birth to little Judith. We'll add Judith to the wheel, but I think I'm gonna give Judith immunity. But to be honest, because it feels like Carl would be pretty depressed. He's lost both of his parents now. He's probably forced to kill his mother, as he did in the in the original story anyway. Yeah, Laurie unfortunately has died, but with her, she's got Judith, so very cool. And Carl will have to look after her. So now Carl is completely distraught, very upset. Sophia's by his side, though. This is an absolute traumatized kid, a real kid of the apocalypse. He's been made an orphan, and now has to look after his baby sister. So, yeah, I mean, this is a pretty brutal story for Carl so far. That's all I'll say. Okay, we got the T-Dog death. So who gets the T-Dog death? So, the person sacrifices himself to save... No! Not Jack, everyone, no! It's Jack. Damn. So we already lose Jack. Very sad. He's like a little side character who came along for a bit. Yikes. Anyway, who kills Andrew? Oh, wait, no. Should be one of these characters, sorry. Just not ignore whoever this lands on. Beth. Ooh, very interesting. Stepping up, Beth. So Beth is the person who shoots Andrew in the head. I kind of like, out of nowhere, Beth just stepping up and taking him out. Maybe she was, maybe she had a thing for Jack. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, Big Tiny. Just get Big Tiny death. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now we do the Woodbury. So obviously Carol and Michonne head to Woodbury. But before that, Andrew's like, "Yo, Baldy." Carol's got short hair instead of Blondie. Andrew's like, "It's Baldy." I'm sorry, Melissa McBride. You have short hair. What can I say? Hello, Baldy. How's about a big hug for your old pal Andrea? And so obviously Carol faints, takes her to Woodbury, and Carol starts shacking up with the governor. Maybe the governor it's like, Andrea told me about tales of Ed. He would hit you and stuff. And then so Carol's wooed by the governor, starts shacking up with him. Andrea instead is obviously like a right-hand woman. And yeah, eventually Andrea goes after Michonne to hunt down and kill Michonne. Very different universe. I kind of like it. And within that, we have the Woodbury reform role. So who... Oh, Godjulio. Wow. It's number 1. So, in this universe, Godjulio actually heads with Michonne to the prison. He realizes he's just a scared kid, really. Let's be honest. So he heads to the prison to be like, "Yo, guys, this is messed up." So Shumpert technically dies in between 3 and 4, but we'll put him there. Hamburg and obviously everyone else gets the same deaths as they would anyway. Who gets kidnapped? Make it make sense. Carol! Well, that can't make sense. I mean, to be honest, I feel like Carl and Sophia, it's either Glenn and Maggie or Carl and Sophia. Okay, it's Glenn and Maggie. So it's same thing. Glenn and Maggie, one-legged Maggie, and Glenn, they're looking for supplies for Judith. Both get kidnapped, and so Carl, who's I guess kind of the leader. I mean, maybe Ed is like a leader now of the group. I'm trying to think who would be like the real leader, because although Carl wants to be the leader, he can't really. I feel like even maybe Jim, you know, to a degree. Maybe it is Jim. Maybe Jim's kind of like looking after Carl. Maybe there's like a fatherly bond there forming. Obviously, Jim isn't a main character yet. Maybe that could happen. Maybe. Ooh, I got a cramp in my foot. I think I might do that. I might just like arbitrarily say that Jim. I'm gonna have to stand up because of my foot. Jim is a father figure to Carl. Why not? I kind of like that. So maybe Jim is the leader of this group in a sense. So I'll remove Jim from the minor character list. So who is going to get the Oscar death during the rescue mission of Maggie and Glenn? Well, that can't work. But who's it closer to? It's actually like... Who is it closer to? That's like dead center. That's like dead center. I couldn't decide. We'll re-roll. Patricia? Okay. Poor Patricia. So Patricia is taken out during the rescue mission. Very sad for her. R.I.P. Patricia. Anyway, so we'll add the handcuffed person back. So that's Andrea, of course. She ends up coming back, and Michonne and Andrea hate each other. Like, actually despise each other in this world. And then we'll add Milton, although we don't know if he's come to the prison yet. Because we got the Axel death. So after obviously the rescue mission, Governor retaliates with a death, and we're losing Oscar. Oh, Oscar getting the Axel death. Very sad. Shot in the head. Dead. Very sad indeed. Do they pick up the hitchhiker? Tails, no. Heads, yes. No. So we return to not Atlanta. We return to King County, and of course we find the dead hitchhiker. Or the hitchhiker, we don't pick him up, and eventually he dies. Although I feel like it's less like Carl like tells him, "I will pick you up later because we're going to get a bunch of supplies. So we'll pick you up later if that's cool. Because I don't want to take you to this place because my friends might be there. My friend Morgan and Dwayne might be there for all I know." And he's like, well, okay, I'll wait. And they show up and like they go back to get the hitchhiker and they find him dead. And then I think what we'll say is he heads to King County. He finds that Morgan has actually died. Dwayne's alive, and of course Dwayne then joins the group. And I feel like I have to make Dwayne a main character at least for season 4, but we'll keep Dwayne alive. So Dwayne has actually joined the group now. Now we've got the Merle death. So who sacrifices themselves for the group and dies as a result? I'm going to say no to Dwayne. I'm just going to say no to Dwayne straight up, because that'd be like he comes back and then dies like a couple episodes later. Would be a bit silly. It can't be Sophia. Can't be Sophia. Well, actually, I guess it could. I don't want. I feel like I'm going to give Sophia like immunity for more than season 3. Oh, do you know what? I said he was a father figure, but fuck me. I think that works. Like, Jim being like, I need to protect these kids. And I know that other people are a big Jim fan, but I think this is a perfect death for Jim. Being like, I need to protect the kids. We've got Dwayne now as well. I mean, there's 3 kids. 3 kids plus the baby, so 4 children in our group. We've also got God Julio, who basically is a child. And Beth as well. Yeah, because Beth's only like 16, 17 at this point. So I think, Jim sees how vulnerable the group is. Maggie's got 1 leg, of course. Ed's barely a man. Glenn's he's very young. Herschel's old. yeah, and then it's just women, right? And I guess the only true man we have is Jim and Axel, and so and obviously Herschel, but Herschel's old. I think, yeah, I feel like Jim would be like, fuck it, I'm gonna have to make a dent, right? And I think Jim goes with the intention of taking out the governor, but he ends up taking out loads of people. So and yeah, Jim's been a bit sexist there with his assumptions, assuming the women can't do as well as him, do as well as the men. Okay, he's a bit sexist there, but that's just Jim. Okay, he's a bit rough around the edges, and he goes out like a champ, taking out a large portion of the Woodbury army, but sadly not the governor, and the governor kills him. And so we lose 3 deaths in the finale. So we'll have 1 death in the battle, 1 death from the governor stabbing said person, and then 1 person who, oh no, I already saw who he's going to land on. Okay, we got Herschel. There's just not that many characters here, is there? Axel. No! Axel, Herschel. Oh, God. And then who's the main character we're losing? Ed. Oh, okay. So I think after that display... Oh, we're losing all the men. Wow. I think after that display, Ed saw that, and I think he realized that Jim had almost finished the job. And I think this is where Ed like really kind of has his character arc, and he stops sitting on his ass doing nothing kind of thing. And I think he says to Axel, "You're listening, man. We can finish this. We can literally like finish this off, right? We can take out the governor now. He's like, Jim's weakened his forces. This is enough." And I think he maybe like slightly manipulates Axel, being like, you're not even one of us really. You're just some fucking guy who's like tagging along. Like, do you really think you're going to be in our group after the battle? No, you've got to prove it. So I think that's what happens. Both Ed and Axel infiltrate Woodbury. Maybe they take out a couple guards, but then they're surrounded, taken to the torture room. I think Axel is stabbed repeatedly, and that governor's like toying with Ed. He's like, "I'm going to bring back your daughter." Or actually, maybe he's like, Axel's going to eat you and all that, and maybe the governor's like, "I'm going to do terrible things to you. I'm going to kill your daughter," or whatever, right? He's like, and he's like, "I'm going to kill your wife." Oh yeah, and the governor's also like, "And also, by the way, I've been banging your wife the whole time." That's actually perfect. Yeah, the governor's like, "Been banging your wife the whole time, Ed." And so part of it is like, because Ed's a wife abuser, the governor's like giving him the most torturous death by having Axel like munch on him. So there is some catharsis there. But obviously Carol then finds out that her husband is missing and probably there, so she rushes to save him, because despite everything she's done, she still doesn't think he should die. But then of course, sadly, Ed was too late in killing zombified Axel, and he's dead, and he puts himself down. Very sad moment, In a sense, Ed kind of had a little bit of a character out there. Poor Axel was just manipulated. And then Herschel, I think Herschel just dies during the battle. So during the prison battle, they use some like guerrilla war tactics, but I think sadly Herschel, like, maybe there's some sort of bomb, and he like brings them, distracts them all, the Woodbury people, like down a corridor or something, and they all like shoot him, but then he like pulls a trigger and blows up a bunch of soldiers, but sadly he didn't make it. I think and then they all flee, and of course they have like a sad moment as he's bleeding on the floor, bleeding in the tombs, he's bleeding out, and Maggie and Beth are crying, and Glenn, they're all like surrounding him as he dies. That kind of thing, that could be kind of nice, as like a nice way for him to go, and as also as a casualty of the battle. So, yeah, that means we lose poor Ed, we lose Axel, and we lose Herschel. And that's how it all went down, as I explained. Now, I think we're not doing Chaos Roll now, because I think I'm going to have to add some more characters. I might add like 3 characters, just so we have a few more people in the group, because, yikes, it's not looking great for the minor characters, is it? Not at all. So that's done. We will add some more, but we'll add these. I just want to see how many we've got here. How many have we got? 14, okay. That's okay. No, we might just add 1. We don't need to add 2. I don't want to do Chaos Roll. I decided against it today. We might do some more later. Walk into a cop shop. Very random. Sean! Okay. I might actually have a picture of him already. Let me check. Sean. No, I have the other Sean. I have Season 2 Sean. I don't have Private Sean. I'll have to download that. Okay, so we've got Sean. Joined our group. I guess he was never killed. He never died. He was the one National Guard member who got away. He wasn't in the helicopter in this universe. Yeah, that's cool. Add Sean. So added Sean, and we'll do 2. We'll do 2. Why not? Let's do 2. Who we got? Josh. I don't like it because it's like a fucking a nobody. But he's Kerry's father. Kerry's father. Well, listen, the actor's called Josh. That's perfect. And the last character was called Josh. We've got Josh. Josh. What's Kerry's name? I don't even remember these. Season 3. Oh, these are the people in the ranch, aren't they? Son. Kerry's son. Cool. Okay, so what we'll call them. We'll call this guy Josh. Yeah, Josh. Sean and Josh. Alright. And then we've added them. That's done. So I guess Josh lost his family and he joined the group, and Sean actually escaped the governor's attack and was like, yo, I escaped the attack. And he joined the prison. Okay, so... Oh, wait, what are we doing? Bro. Okay. Man is messed up. Man is messed up. So Bob goes over here. Oh, God. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry to be dead air. I'm trying my best here. So those are done. Karen as well needs to be moved. Carl, Dwayne, Andrea. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. There we go. We sorted out. But there again, we do need to bump up a few characters because we've only got 8. I think one more. I feel like that Beth. I feel like she killed. She did kill Andrew last season, so why not? And obviously we've kind of got the family dynamic going there with Herschel dying at the end of that season. So yeah, we'll go with Beth. Why not? So who's gonna get the Zach death? Bitten, crushed by helicopter. Classic death. Oh. Already going to Josh. Fair enough. He's just cannon fodder, I guess. And then the Patrick death. Poor guy was saying about how he's lost his family and then he was later crushed by a helicopter. And then, of course, yeah, we have the Patrick death. So this person gets sick. Oh! Goes to Patrick. Wow. And then the Karen death. Who gets the Karen death? No. Not killed by the manager. Right, so Patrick's got his death. Oh. And then I also need to add these guys. Also, Milton. Milton joined the group as well. In this universe, Milton joined. Sasha, Tyrese, Zach, Bob, Lizzie, Mika, Lily. What? Going too far ahead there. Ooh, Sasha. So it could still be Tyrese who finds the body, but instead of Karen, it's Sasha. Oh, I like that. Sasha gets sick early, and then this person was the person who took them out. Who took them out? Maggie. Ooh, I kind of like that. Yeah. And then maybe Maggie's exiled? Yeah, shit. Kicked out as well. Oh, okay. Who does the kicking? Because actually, what we need to decide is after season 3, who would have become the leader? Because realistically, there'd probably be a council. Would it be Glenn? I guess it would be Glenn, yeah. Because I guess he would be next in charge. I guess Glenn is the leader. Obviously, Carl's still our main character, and Carl, wants to pretend to be the leader, but practically he's too young to be a leader, let's be fair. So yeah, maybe Glenn is the leader of the group now. It was Shane and Rick, Then it was just Shane. Then it was Jim. And now it's Glenn. That's crazy. So Glenn, yeah, Glenn's been in charge. And I think obviously finding out what happened to Maggie. I guess there could be a council as well, but maybe Glenn's head of it. But finding out Maggie killed Sasha. That, like, is a big moment for Glenn. And he's like, he has to exile her. Because it's just the rules. Listen, I don't care about Martinez. I don't care. Martinez dies how he dies. I'm not in the mood for Martinez today. I'm sorry. These things happen. So Martinez is dead. Anyway, Governor shows up. Makes his return. Shumpert reveal. Who is the Herschel death? Who is he decapitating? Oh, it can't be Carl. Oh, okay. That works. That's pretty tragic. Character from the first season. Sophia's mother. The last of the parents from season 1, actually. That would be a pretty impactful death. Definitely marks a turning point in Carl and Sophia's journey. And obviously, the governor was banging her. So, yeah, why not? The governor split her in two and then cut her in two. No! Bad joke. Yeah, so Carol decapitated. Wow. And we'll do the tails. We'll do the flip. Flip a coin. Lily is added. Tails, Tara is added. Heads. Heads, Lily added. So Tara. We'll just say Tara dies during the battle. She's just killed by the forces. But Lily ends up joining the group. I only like one of them. Lily joins. Who kills the governor? So just the governor. Martinez starts the same way. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Okay, Michonne. So maybe Glenn was the one who meets. He's like, governor's like, who do I meet? Jim died. Because he would have met Jim during the meeting in season 3. So yeah, maybe he wants to face. He's like, whoever's in charge, come down. Glenn's like, there's a council. There's a council here, and the governor's like, seems like you're doing the talking, so why don't you come down? So Glenn comes down to do the talking. Obviously, the governor knows Glenn because he kidnapped him, so he's like, I'm familiar with you, etc., etc. And he's like, how's your wife? And Glenn's like, she doesn't live here anymore. We have a council, we have rules, etc., etc. And then, yeah, so Glenn does the no when Carol's killed. Maybe Glenn and Carol are kind of close, who knows? Maybe they've grown close, or maybe it's just the fact that poor Sophia's watched her mother be decapitated. And Carl obviously wants to head down and kill the governor as well, so he's more involved in the battle. Maybe he takes out a bunch of the forces. But in the end, Glenn is getting beaten up by the governor, and Michonne comes in, saves the day, like she does. Or maybe it is Carl. Maybe the governor just goes to kill the child. Who gets the Lily death? So, this person's surrounded and killed by walkers during the fall of prison. Poor Sean. Sean, no! Yeah. Maybe he's trying to get his chopper. Whatever it may be, but poor Sean is taken out by walkers. We're losing all the random characters. Who gets kidnapped by the hospital folk? I think we got enough characters here anyway, so we don't need another person to be a main character. Can't be Carl, but it could be Glenn, to think about it. So I actually kind of like that, yeah. Especially because we keep losing, like, leaders. I think it's kind of funny. So Glenn is kidnapped. Maybe Carl was with Glenn. It was Carl, Glenn, and Sophia, surviving together. And then Glenn ends up getting, like, kidnapped by the hospital. Oh, sugar. And that's like, no, Glenn. I kind of think that kind of works. Because they could I'd see the hospital people seeing Glenn as, like, pretty weak. Even though he's not. Mika's death. So who is stabbed by Lizzie multiple times? And who takes Lizzie out? Oh, no, not Milton. Poor Milton, guys. Stabbed to death by Lizzie to turn. Where the hell is Milton? There he is. And ooh, Ooh, Sophia. Okay, so we're doing things a bit differently here. So Sophia ends up putting down Lizzie. Look at the flowers, Lizzie. Bang. Wow. Crazy. Poor Lizzie. Okay, so who kills Joe as well? Put Joe up here. We'll move the Cure team. The Cure team. Andrea, okay, bit different. Maybe Joe was, assaulting Andrea and whoever was in her group, and so Andrea was the one to be like chomping on his thing. Oh, also, we probably should say Andrea has got one arm, obviously, because she's chopped her, or one hand, but yeah, one hand, yeah, chopped her hand off, didn't she? So. Cool. We'll do the chaos roll here instead, actually. So let's do chaos roll because we didn't do it last time, and I'm more in the mood for chaos roll now. 41. Hidden bite. Someone hides a bite in the group. Spin a wheel to find out who. Then do a heads. They're successful in hiding the bite. So do a spin to find out who. I guess it would be a minor character. This is like in the train car. Oh, Mika. And that actually makes sense that why she would hide the bite. Damn, okay. So Mika actually got bitten on her way during Terminus. And then it says to flip a coin. Heads are successful. Okay, so they are successful. They're in hiding the bite. This gets a major character killed. And there you go. Okay, so... Wow, so Mika hides a bite in the train cart. In the train cart, she hides a bite at the start of the 5th season, just to kick things off with a bang, and she successfully. So, Mika is bit and bites and kills who? Okay, fuck it. Why not? So Mika gets bit, and she bites and kills Dwayne. So we're losing 2 kids. 2 in 1. We're losing 2 kids this season. Great. So yeah, poor Mika is dead, and she's now bitten and killed Dwayne as well. Very sad. Who saves them from Terminus? I feel like we're gonna go with Andrea. Andrea redemption arc. She blows up Terminus. Anyway, let's add Gabriel. And I think this season we'll go with Tyrese as a main character. Obviously, Glenn is in the hospital. Oh, actually, thinking now, did I remove Glenn from here? I shouldn't have done that. So Glenn's in the hospital. Tyrese will make a main character. So I feel like he's been through a lot. And also we'll elevate Abraham. So that's 9 main characters. Anyway, did I add Gabriel? Yeah, I did. Who kills Gareth? Carl? Please be Carl. Perfect. Carl. So Carl is the one to, after Glenn's gone missing. So obviously Glenn's gone missing. So think about this. They escape Terminus. Andrea saves them. I mean, I'm thinking of who... To be fair, I feel like I'm being a bit sexist here, because I'm thinking the leader has to be a man, but it obviously can be a woman. So that's my fault. Sorry, I actually was being pretty sexist there. Yikes! I was still in the Jim thing. I was still in character playing Jim, who's a little bit rough around the edges. Yeah. So actually, I think in reality, I'm thinking back at that scene where Glenn's in season 3 where he's with Rick going crazy town and Daryl off with Merle. I'm the next in charge. That speech. I'm thinking about that. So that's why I'm sort of saying Glenn would be the leader. But Glenn being missing, I think probably Andrea. It probably would be Andrea or Michonne who would step up. Now, I've always felt like Michonne was never really the leader type, until kind of that sort of when she kind of came out of her shell a bit more in season 6, like 5 and 6. So I feel like Michonne could be a leader at this point, but I'm gonna say Maggie. You know, I'm gonna say that Maggie would be the leader, especially after she got kicked out and Glenn kicked her out and facing that but of course Abraham would be there too, probably like dictating that they go save, do the cure thing, and so Team Cure probably head off. Maybe with Lily. Probably the Cure team would probably consist of these guys. Or maybe actually, maybe Tyrese, Bob, and Karen head off. So we leave with Zach. Obviously, Zach would be with Beth. Michonne would want to stay with the main group. And Cordelia as well, who's sticking along. And then we've got Noah. So we add Noah to the list. Didn't even know her. So he's been added. And then we have Bob's death. So who is bitten? Who's tainted meat? Who was bitten and then had their leg chopped off? Oh. Well, I'm going to say that's Lily. That's close enough to Lily. So I guess she's not going on the cure mission. You're eating tainted meat! And Lily's also like, you stupid pricks. They didn't even like me. I was banging the guy who killed, I was banging the guy who's, ruined their home. So, poor Lily had her leg chopped off. They feel bad for her, but, not really. Oh, that's better. No, hang on. That's the wrong place. She gets the Bob death. And then who gets the Beth death? So, obviously, Glenn is at the hospital, but who's the character who ends up stabbing Dawn and gets their head blown out? Oh. Okay, there we are. It is Glenn. So Glenn says to Dawn, I get it now. Stabs her. Gets his head's blown out. His brain's blown out. And then who? Damn, poor Glenn. Takes out Dawn. Andrea. Ooh, okay. Andrea's the one to do it. Maybe Maggie is too distraught, as is Beth. So Andrea is the one to do it. And then it's the, hold your fire, hold your fire. So damn it, poor Glenn, already taken out. But we took out Dawn. Oh, so Gareth, hang on a minute. Governor, you're dead. Yeah. And then Gabriel, and you are added. And Dawn, you're over here. So now we have the Tyrese death. Who gets the Tyrese death? Which main character? After she took out Dawn, bitten on her other, maybe she's bitten on her other arm, so they literally have to chop off her other arm. Obviously, she's missing only a hand on one arm, but she's bitten on her good arm, and then they have to chop off her good arm, and they're carrying, but she can't handle losing 2 limbs. So the Queen, Andrea, who's been in the missing category forever by accident, unfortunately dies. Wow, brutal. And obviously, also, I forgot to mention, she would have found out that nuke that hit in North Georgia, that small, little, tiny, not very big nuke that hit in North Georgia, or South Georgia, wherever the fuck, I think Fort Benning is in the South. Andrea would have found out that her sister died during that nuke, so that would have been pretty devastating for her as well. But anyway, in the end, Andrea redeemed herself. She was a right-hand woman to the governor, tried to kill Michonne, but maybe in the end, Michonne was by her side and was trying to save her. But she dies in the end, very sad. She forgives everyone for everything that's happened, and they forgive her. And big sad death. So poor. And maybe she sees Amy in her last moments as well, instead of Tyrese hallucinating some randos. Well, they're not totally randos, but I think Andrea hallucinates Amy that whole time, and I think that could be a really sweet death. Because she never got to say goodbye to her sister. So that's what happens. Poor Andrea. Damn, sorry to get deep. And so, the scene of the characters walking on the road, I feel like Carl's not done loads for being the main character, I do apologise, but that sometimes happens. Is Carl, holding hands with Sophia, Maggie, Maggie with her fucking one-legged Maggie hobbling along. You got Beth and Zach, who obviously are a couple, and obviously Carl and Sophia are carrying poor baby Judith as well. You got Michonne, you got God Julio, you got Abraham, Rosita, Eugene, Bob Stuckey, who's still alive, Tyrese, who's still alive, Karen, who's still alive, obviously who's with Tyrese, and then you got Gabriel and Noah. Very cool. Okay. And now let's add all these guys. So, this is when we get a bunch of characters onto the minor character list. There we are. So, I'm going to actually skip some of these because I don't really care too much about the Aiden death. Would have been quicker if I think actually, yeah, there he is. So, Aiden death we're going to get rid of. We will have the Noah death, but the Reg death we will also keep the same. So, for this one anyway. So, Reg is that one, Aiden is that one, but we will have something different for the Noah death. And I think who kills Pete? I think we have to go for Carl, because he needs to do something. So, who's going to get the Noah death? Let's go. Damn! Okay, so maybe Deanna. Oh, wow, okay. So I'm going to say that, yeah, Deanna was, like, leading the scavenging team. You know, she wanted to have a look for the goodies as well. And that's when Aiden gets shot and killed. So he dies the same way. And then Nicholas cowardly, you know, tries to save his own life over, you know, against Deanna's wishes. So then Deanna gets, you know, dragged in to the revolving doors and devoured. Oh, I actually kind of like this, right? Because this causes problems. Nicholas then claims that they abandoned Deanna. And then, of course, they have the whole thing about kicking people out. Plus, we have... Oh, who would be trying to bang... Maybe actually... Oh, fuck, this is perfect. Sophia probably notices the abuse that Pete's... Because obviously she's probably befriend Ron and... Well, probably more Ron and Enid. And I think she would notice the abuse from Ron. And maybe Enid's like, stop checking out my boyfriend. And he's like, no, I'm looking at the bruises on his arms, you know. And then, like... She identifies as abuse, being a victim of abuse herself, and then that's when she goes to Deanna with the thing, with the idea of killing Pete or exiling Pete or whatever it may be. But then Deanna dies because she gets killed in the revolving doors, and then Reg is like, "Ooh, fuck! I guess I'm taking over," and he doesn't know what to do. And then on top of that, Pete then comes and ends up killing Reg, and I think that's when Carl just takes it into his own hands and kills Pete. I think that's pretty good. I think that works. And then there is no Rick moment because, of course, Morgan and Dwayne are both already dead, and also Eastman just, I guess, died off screen because there is no Eastman. Yeah, I think that works quite well. I think that's a good ending. I like that. I think Deanna going there works. Anyway, Chaos Roll. I don't want to do a Chaos Roll right now. Do I want to do? We've not got a Morgan, so let's say Aaron and who would be helping Aaron? Aaron, yeah, let's go with Aaron and Tyrese. They were looking for people, and they ended up finding a person and bringing them back to the group. Plays Hurst. Yeah, they bring back Hurst. Why not? We'll have Hurst. So Hurst has joined the group from Overkill, I believe. Yeah, so Hurst has joined the group. Cool. Did I have him here? Hurst. Right. So I think we need one more character to be elevated. I think we're gonna go for... I'm gonna go for Zach just because Beth's the main character and obviously Zach's with Beth. So we will elevate Zachy Boy to a main character. This is not applicable anymore. Add Denise and Heath. Nicholas's death. So who's a coward and shoots himself in the head during the evacuating the mega herd. Now, who actually would be the leader of Alexandria at this point? That's a good question. Because I feel like Spencer would want to step up. Obviously, I think it probably would be Maggie, right? But Carl is like advice. You know, Carl kind of like Loki trying his best to be a leader, but he's still not old enough. But maybe like Maggie's like teaching him the ways. Oh, wait, it's just Nicholas. Okay, so Nicholas just gets his own death. Who gets the dumpster fake out, and then who also gets the Deanna death. So Nicholas gets his same death. Oh, Spencer. Yeah, because Spencer would be wanting to lead after him being the last of the Monroe family left. And then him getting bitten during the attack, you know, trying to project strength. That could work quite well. And then he's like, fuck, I've been bitten. And then Carl's like, it's okay, man, you tried your best. Da-da-da. And then, Spencer's like, you gotta look after all these people now. These were my mom's people. These were my family's people. We devoted ourselves to look after these people, so you guys gotta look after these people now. And then Spencer goes out, firing his gun. I think that works quite well, actually. I like it. I like that, actually. Yeah. That's the end of Monroe family, pretty quickly. And then Sophia's the person who goes under the dumpster. And then obviously Carl thinks that poor Sophia's died. Now, who would be... I don't think there's anyone necessarily banging Jesse. Could be, actually. We'll see. Oh! But actually, maybe... Oh, maybe there's a little teenage rivalry romance going on, perhaps? Maybe Enid's into Carl or something. Ooh, I don't know. Because that's the I'm thinking. Yeah, okay. I think we're gonna go for the Ron's death is Enid. Because I think Enid's jealous because Sophia's helping Ron get past her trauma. Get past his trauma, obviously, of losing his father, but also the abuse. And I think Ron and Sophia get pretty close, but they are just friends. And Enid takes it the wrong way. She's a bit of a different character in this universe, I guess, because she just did not give a shit about Ron before. In the real universe, she just didn't care. But I think, she takes issue with that. And I think that's why she ends up firing the gun. And then who else dies? I think the other characters can be random and unrelated. Or they don't have to be. Because it could be... Okay, no, it is Sam. So, yeah, Sam dies. And I guess we will go with Jesse, yeah. We'll go with Jesse. So, Sam, Jesse. So, Jesse gets her death. Sam gets his death. Sam is traumatized, just by the walkers. I mean, there is no Cookie Monster coming to kill you whole thing. That never happened. Or maybe Beth did that. Who knows? But Sam has his own death. He gets traumatized and then eaten by the walkers. Jesse obviously screams out in anger. But I think in this universe, Ron is kind of cool and composed. Or maybe he wasn't there when it was happening. Maybe he finds out later. But Enid was there. And maybe Enid, had grown close to this family. Maybe Jesse had taken her in instead of Enid living with Olivia. Enid had actually lived with the Andersons this whole time. And Enid was so angry with losing them. And then she said, you tried to shoot Sophia, but who does she actually shoot? She might end up shooting Sophia. We'll see. Abraham! Yeah, Abraham was there as well. And so he gets in the way. He takes the bullet to the eye. And he loses one eye. Damn. Does Owen reform? I just don't care. I don't care. I'm not doing the Owen reform role. He's dead. Who kills him? Oh, yeah, who kills him? Zach. Very cool. Okay, so we'll add Jesus and Dr. Carson. And then that's done. Denise's death. So we have the whole Savior arc. Who ends up getting shot with the... Oh, I need to remove Jesse. Oh, it's Olivia. Okay. So Olivia goes on a supply run and she ends up getting shot in the eye with a crossbow bolt. Poor Olivia. Damn. Damn. And then I also need to remove... No, I've done that, haven't I? Okay. So Olivia, shot and killed. Very sad. Dwight gets away. Honestly, I don't care about this. Who cares? I'm not going to decide who goes to the kingdom. I think we'll... well, actually, maybe we can do the kingdom. I just don't want to do the hilltop one. I don't want to do the two people who head to the hilltop. Because I think that never really matters. Which two characters... It's basically which two characters are spared from the lineup, basically. This is what all this is. And I think we'll do one minor character as well. So we'll do Sophia along with... Hurst, okay. So maybe Sophia... Maybe Hurst ran off and Sophia... Yeah, we'll say that Hurst went off because he was didn't want any more conflict. Maybe he's... What is he? Isn't he military? The what? Raiders. Oh, yeah. I'm going to say he's military. I don't care. So I'm going to say, yeah. Hurst is military, and he doesn't want a war. He's, like, traumatized from war, and he, like, kind of leaves, and Sophia goes after him, and that's when they find the kingdom. So Sophia and Hurst. So Sophia is spared from Lucille, right? And I guess Hurst gets to become a main character now. Did I remove him? No, I didn't. Yeah, why not? Hurst gets to become a main character. Now, who's our wheel characters? I think what I'm going to do separately now, actually, is I think I'm going to make a Negan lineup. So what we'll do is we'll copy all the main characters, and then we'll remove Hurst, and we'll remove Sophia, right? Because how many are on? There's 10 characters on the lineup, right? I swear. So what we'll do is we'll arbitrarily decide. Arbitrarily. I think Aaron can be there as well because he was there in the original. And also, I guess Eugene and Rosita. I think that would make up the numbers, right? Eugene and Rosita, yeah. Why not? I mean, Ron could be there as well, but we'll save him back. So we're going to go. Would Maggie be pregnant? Or maybe it's actually Beth who's pregnant. Yeah, why not? So one of these characters is getting their heads beaten in. I mean, I added Carl, but there was no point to add Carl, really. Okay, so Aaron gets the Abraham death. Maybe he was being cocky. Or maybe Negan, saw him as the leader. Don't know why you'd see him as the leader, but maybe he did. You never know. So he gets the Abraham death, and then to open up the season, who is the next character who gets the second Negan but beating? Where's Aaron? Oh, damn. Rosita. Wow. So we lose Aaron and Rosita. That's crazy. I think I may have removed Eugene from this thing, but I think at this point anyway, I think Eugene was the only other character added, right? I do believe so. Eugene gets to be a main character now anyway, because that would be 11, 8, 9, 9. I think that was 8. We would have added 2, 9, 10. So I'm doing quick maths. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think we're all good there. So, we lose Aaron and Rosita. 2 very random. Now, 2 characters who haven't been there for too long. So I guess the Lucille thing isn't as impactful to us. But, Aaron was a cool guy, so that's pretty sad that he goes. And Rosita was like Abraham just left her, I guess. Maybe Abraham was... Who would Abraham be shacking up with now instead of her? Instead of Rosita? Maybe Maggie? I don't know. Maybe. Hell yeah, maybe. Maybe Maggie and Abe. Maggie and Abraham were a couple. Who knows? Let's do Chaos Roll. Why not? I'm feeling in the mood for a Chaos Roll. 32. 3, 2. Okay, so Bad Storm. We could do Bad Storm. I just want to see what else we get. 55. Yeah, we'll do Bad Storm. I don't want to do Time Jump. I need to remove the Time Jump thing. Okay, Bad Storm. Lose 2 minor characters. So, Saviors said they were going to protect us, etc., etc. But a Bad Storm comes. We ask for help from the Saviors, and they don't even protect us. So the whole protection thing that they say that's why they subjugated us was bullshit. Because we lost poor Heath, and we lost someone else. But, no, not Bob Stuckey. And Bob Stuckey. Wow. Wow. So Heath and Bob Stuckey both died in a storm. And Negan did nothing. Negan didn't help at all. Very, very sad for the group. Here's Heath. Okay. Who gets kidnapped and tortured? Oh yeah, we need to figure that out. It has to be someone who was at the... Oh, Maggie. Actually, it could be Maggie. That's actually pretty brutal. Okay, yeah, Maggie's getting tortured with her one leg, eating dog food sandwiches. Maybe Negan's trying to make her his wife. I mean, that's what's happening. I don't care. This doesn't care. I mean, who would go to the hilltop? It probably would be Abraham and... I don't know. Would Maggie be pregnant in this universe? Actually, Beth. We said Beth, right? Probably Beth and Zach then. Beth and Zach would go to the hilltop. We don't need to roll for that. It'd just be them. And then who goes to the ocean side? I'm gonna decide. We say Hurst and Sophia are at Kingdom. Zach and Beth are at Hilltop. Maggie's been taken. So it only really leaves like Tyrese, right? Tyrese or Eugene? I don't see Eugene doing it. Carl can't do it. Sophia is already there. Yeah, it only really leaves. So we'll say Tyrese. Tyrese heads off on like a mission. But who does he take with him who ends up dying and getting the Heath exit? And... oh, no. It's like a joint effort with the hilltop, and Jesus goes, and Jesus ends up dying. That is pretty brutal. Poor Jesus. So, R.I.P. Jesus died on the mission to the ocean side with Tyrese. Spencer's death. So who's being a slippery snake trying to get into Negan's good books and ends up getting gutted like a fish? Denise. Ooh, why would you do that to us, Denise? So yeah, I don't know. Maybe she didn't feel very confident. She's like, this group is run by a one-eyed ginger guy. You're banging his girl. You beating his other girl's head. There's children who are out of control. There's that fucking priest. Like, this is God Julio. There's God Julio. He's still around. I forgot about him. Denise is like, this needs sorting. You need to put... And I'm not even saying me, Mr. Negan. And Negan's like, I'm not listening to your shit. And he ends up stabbing and killing Denise. Damn, poor Denise. And then, obviously, I'm going to say, yeah, Eugene was making the bullet. Maybe Carl bullied him. Threatened to take away his Game Boy. And he's like, who was made the bullet? And then, and the rat ends up shooting Tobin instead. Shoots Tobin. And then, of course, they bring the bullet. Yeah, so we find the bullet. So, Coolio. So, Tobin dies. Anyway, Hedge, the torture group member, kills Fat Joey. So, does Maggie kill Fat Joey? Yes. Maggie kills him. So Maggie kills Fat Joseph. Where are you, Joseph? R.I.P. Okay. Who gets kidnapped? Oh, this will just be Eugene. This will just be Eugene. He's alive, so why not? And then we had these guys, the Kingdom people, who I've heavily reduced. Done. And we got to add the Oceanside gals as well. Done. And then finally, we got the Sasha death. So who goes in to try and take out Negan? And then obviously ends up taking the little poison pill. Oh, Hurst. I think that works from what we established with Hurst, right? He was traumatized. He was getting away. I think that works out for him. This is a different way of fighting the battle. Taking it, not having to live with it, etc., etc. So he ends up, taking the poison pill. And I think that's actually like a full... Because he starts the season, right, running away from the battle. And he ends the season giving his life for the battle. I think that's a complete character arc for Hurst. I kind of like that. That worked out quite well. Alas, though, I think I want a new character for this season. So we're going to say that this particular person... I don't know, was just a member of the... Who? Trevor headshot. Can I see the headshot of Trevor? Uh-oh. What the hell's happened there? Connection terminated. Oh, random. Okay. So, Valon. He's a resident of the nest. Oh, that's who we're getting then, I guess. I don't know if you say it, Valon. It's a French name, so who knows? Oop. So we got Vallon. Could say he's a savior. He's not a savior. I'm gonna say he's just a hilltopper. He's just a hilltopper. All right. Vallon added. And I'm gonna say Vallon. I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm gonna say Vallon. I'm probably saying it wrong. Do you like that? It rhymed. We also had Dwight. Dwight is added 2. Done. Okay. We're NAing this, of course. Eric's death. So who is shot and sadly bleeds out? No, not Karen. Oh. Actually, thinking about it, Karen would have been upgraded. Karen upgraded to a main character, and also we got to give it to Gargiulio. Gargiulio is also main character now. So unfortunately, no, Karen is not getting shot. I don't like that. That's no way for Karen to go. We gotta. She's been around for a while, so. Oh, but for Noah, fuck it. Okay, Noah gets that death. So Noah didn't even know her. Shot, sadly. Maybe I don't even know who it could be. Who would Noah be like close to? I don't know. Maybe Noah's in a relationship with. Fuck it. Maybe Noah and Eric are a fit. I don't know. Maybe actually, I don't know how old Eric is compared to Noah though. But that'd be kind of weird. Oh, actually, maybe it's just Gargiulio and Noah. They're just like Gargiulio and Noah are just like two good friends, and that's all it is. And he's like, shit, man, you leave there. Or fuck it, I ship Gargiulio and Noah. Maybe they are a couple, and he leaves Noah thinking that it'll be all right, but then he comes back to find that Noah is no more. And he's a walker, and he's joined the herd. Who gets the Shiva death? So who sacrifices himself for their leader? Oh, Henry. So yeah, so Henry probably tagged along to the battle. Ezekiel's about to get bitten. And then like Henry like jumps in the way kind of thing. And he instead gets bitten, saving Ezekiel, but then dying in the process. That'd be pretty sad for Ezekiel. I feel like he'd be as distraught as when he lost the Tiger, to be honest, because obviously Henry at that point was very young and obviously kind of was in his care. So which minor character shoots and kills Grandma? A.K.A. Natanya. Eric! Okay, fair enough. I guess that means that Eric gets to become a main character now. Now, we have got 12 main characters, but we're not adding any more. And yes, that means Ezekiel will not be a main character. Sadiq, for a bit anyway. Sadiq's been added too. Done. Sadiq. Get him in the group. I guess we can also add. We're gonna add the Oceanside Gals. Ezekiel, Shiva, Jerry. Yeah. May as well add Dwight as well. Okay. Carl death. So who gets bitten? Who gets bitten? Ooh, Eugene. Now I don't see him giving the big speech, to be honest. Actually, he can't, because he would have betrayed. He would be technically a savior at this point. So do you know what? No, I'm going to re-roll, because I don't think he would be. He wouldn't make sense. I cannot give it to Carl. I can give it to Michonne though. I think it could work for Michonne. Yeah, I think that death could really work. So Michonne gets bitten. Obviously, she's been like a friend to Carl, and I imagine they probably did have like a similar bond to what they had in the real timeline. So yeah, I could see her being like, Carl, you got to convince everyone. Like, there is no leader right now. You're almost a man now, and this is setting up for Carl to be the leader in season 9, of course, because once we get to season 9 territory, Carl is actually running Alexandria. So yeah, Michonne kind of giving him that pep talk, I think could work really well. Obviously, Abraham's kind of leading Alexandria now at this point. I'd see it more as him. I feel like he'd be Maggie as well, but obviously Maggie was tortured and stuff for a bit, so maybe it's joint between Maggie and Abe, but I did say that they're banging each other, so I mean that that could work. I'm gonna say no to Gavin performing because I just don't care at the moment to do that, and I kind of want to make this video a bit shorter, so yeah, we're gonna skip that. But who will kill Gavin? We can do, and then we need to add Alden as well. Oh, Dr. Carson. Dr. Carson coming out of nowhere and killing Gavin. Kind of funny, but whatever. Whatever. We'll say that's sure. Sure. So Gavin's dead. Tobin death. So who is... Oh shit, wait. That fucking bugged me out then. Who gets Carson's death? So who's shot and killed whilst trying to rescue... I guess Dr. Carson. Dr. Carson? Oh no, Dwight. Damn. Okay. So Dwight is trying to help. Maybe he gets discovered early as a spy, and he's shot and killed for trying to rescue Dr. Carson. That's pretty extreme. Poor Dwight, already taken out. Wow. Really turning the tide there of the war. And who gets the Tobin death? So who's stabbed and killed during the attack on the hilltop, and they eventually turn... Oh, it's Gabriel. Damn. Gabriel stabbed, killed, comes back as a big walker, devastates the hilltop, and yeah, and then it's put down. Maybe by Carl actually, because again, Carl was training him to be like a bit of a a better survivor. I like that. And then who kills Jared? Listen, I'm gonna give this one to Zeke. I don't care. Actually, I'm gonna give this one to Shiva. He's like Shiva mauls Jared slowly and painfully. Okay, for what? Because he would have killed Benjamin, and then of course because of the war, Henry would have died. So him giving him that kind of death, I kind of like that. A nice evil one. So does Laura stay evil? So Laura not evil. No. No. DJ's not evil. Laura's not evil. Frankie is evil. And Sherry is dead. So I'm going to say Sherry dies in the battle. I think she just dies like trying to... I think Sherry is killed by Negan. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say Sherry tries her best to avenge Dwight, but then is unsuccessful. Frankie is killed by like just the militia. Like she's killed by exploding bullets. And then DJ, Laura and DJ, they surrender. Okay, that's what we'll say. So R.I.P. Frankie and R.I.P. Sherry. Damn. Right. Now we can add these guys: Negan, Laura, DJ. That's what we need to add. And that's done. Who kills Simon? I'm just gonna stick with Negan. I think that makes sense. So we'll just stick with Negan killing Simon. And then extra finale death for obviously to account for the Morgan exit. So where's Simon? Killed by Negan. I can't work. One more, please. Extra finale death. Who is it? No. No! I veto it. God, Julia will survive. I veto the death. I veto it. God, Julio's allowed one veto. Damn it. It can't be Carl either. Oh, damn it! I said he's only allowed one. Fine. That means God, fucking poor God Julio. Oh God, I spelled that wrong. God Julio. Poor God Julio dies fighting for freedom, gunned down by those damn saviors R.I.P. man. You were a goat. You were an absolute goat. I loved you. Who defeats Negan? Now, Negan has to be added to hit this list, actually. Now, if it lands on Negan... Basically, if it lands on Negan, I'm going to say that Negan is killed. That's how it's going to work. Oh, shit. Well, there you go. Negan is killed by Carl. Negan did not listen to Michonne's leadership at all. Or actually, yeah, because he's just seen Gargiulia get gunned down. Gargiulia was his friend. So in that moment of rage, he doesn't... And he's about to, like... Maybe, actually, the twist is he's about to execute all the saviors. But then, like, that is his character arc. He does listen to Michonne's words, just not when it comes to Negan. So Negan is killed by Carl. Yes, I like that. I like this universe. R.I.P. Negan. And I'll add a random character. Yeah, we'll do random character. I don't really want to do a chaos roll. Andrew comes back from this one from Destiny's now. Oh, do you know what? Fuck it. There you are then. It's Scott. It's Scott. It's the guy who played Scott. So we'll add Scott. He used to be here, but I ended up removing him. But you know what? I guess he has been here the whole time anyway. So there you are. Scott's been added. Cool. Oh god. And I guess Zeke will be a main character now. Suppose he kind of has to be. So I'd say at this point, Carl is more stepping into leadership role. Maggie and Abe probably have moved to the hilltop with Beth and Zach, who have a child. Beth and Zach's child, I'm going to say, just is immune anyway. But Maggie and Abraham probably have a kid as well on the way too. So the Greens are have moved on. It's a happy thing for the Greens, and obviously Carl and Sophia are older now, especially after the big jump. Where did Scott? Who hangs Gregory? I'm gonna say this for the who hangs Gregory. I think it's probably like Maggie / Beth. I think, and Carl's like, whoa. They're like, listen, Carl, you were right with the whole Negan thing. These saviors aren't working out. And instead of it being about like just like, do we kill or not? It's more about like, who we tolerate, because they choose not to tolerate him, Gregory. And then who loses an arm? Who gets to lose an arm? And who kills a rat? We'll just stick with this with Cindy, because she's still alive, so it makes sense anyway. Zeke loses an arm. Wow. Okay. So now Ezekiel has one arm. Maggie has one leg. Abraham has one arm. So a rat is killed same way by Cindy. We'll keep that the same. And then who is the main character who dies on the bridge? And then after this, now if this is Abraham, I think it works out really well. Kind of works with Tyrese, I guess. He has been around. I imagine he has taken a leadership role. He was the guy who went to the ocean side. So I don't know. I think that works as well. So Tyrese gets blown up on the bridge. And like I said, yeah, because I guess at this point he probably would still be at Alexandria, thinking about it. And so maybe he is actually leading and he's teaching Carl how to lead, as obviously the Greens are looking after Hilltop. So actually, yeah, him dying does allow Carl to step in as leader, along with obviously with Sophia by his side. And then we can skip this, because we oh shit, we can skip this whole CRM thing, because I don't even add Jada, so Jada just goes off on her own. Which character exits? Again, we can skip this for now. We can just have the Meridian people like be another community. Or actually, we don't even have the Meridian people. We just have Eliza anyway. Who kills Jocelyn in the skip? It was Abraham. Okay. So kidnapping all the children. Maybe they actually kidnapped Abraham's kid. Abraham and Maggie's kid. So that's why he went ham and absolutely slaughtered slaughtered Jocelyn. So that works. Now we get to add all these guys. Fun, fun, fun. This is where we start to lose steam. Cool. Done. Now, who kills Jed? I'm going to go with Carl. I feel like Carl killing him works. You know, mopping up the bad saviors. He's like, you know, the good ones they integrated. You never were able to integrate, so you're worthless to our coalition, kind of thing. You know, like pretty cold, like Carl, like laying down the law. I think I kind of like that idea. RJ. Oh shit. RJ is. RJ's a stand-in for, we'll say, Beth/Zach. Why not? Because we said that Beth was pregnant first, right? So yeah, fuck it. Okay. I probably should add Herschel Jr., to be honest. Because that would just be Maggie and Abraham's kid. I don't think he's here anymore. I think I got rid of him. Off my little list, I did. Oop. Season. What the hell, man? Oh, there he is. Cool. Yeah. So we'll add him as well. So we got Herschel Jr., who is going to be Maggie slash. Who is it? Abe. Yeah, so that's their child. Okay, cool. Just ignore the skin tone. So Carl, yeah, lays down the law, kills Jed. I like that. And then we have Jesus' death. So Hugh is taken out by the Whisperers to introduce the Whisperers. Crazy moment. Well, it can't be Carl, can it? Can't be Carl. Karen, ooh. Kind of like that. We took out Tyrese, now we take out Karen. Pretty brutal. So, yeah, Karen stabbed and killed by the Whisperers. You are where you do not belong. Big character, been there for a while. So, that's actually pretty brutal, to be honest with you. Losing Karen. Then, of course, we have Lydia. We kidnap her for a bit. I guess not torture her, but, you know. We interrogate her. And I'm thinking here, is it maybe, like, Carl, maybe actually, because Ron's still around. Maybe if Carl's like heading, or actually instead, could it be that Sophia, or could it be with Judah? I don't know, because Judah probably wouldn't be old enough. Like, who could be having a little relationship with Lydia? So it could be Ron, but we'd have to age Lydia up a bit, because obviously at this point they'd be like in their 20s. Maybe it is Ron. Maybe it's yeah, I think that could work. Because obviously Ron has that like friendship and that crush on Sophia. But obviously he can't be with her because she's with Carl. So I kind of like the idea of Ron finding like Lydia. You know. Yeah, that could work. So yeah, we'll say Ron has the little crush with Lydia. And he's the one who goes out to the Whisperers. And he fills basically Henry's role in the show. And now we have to roll our D20. So I guess that technically means that Ron is a main character now as well. Yeah. So D20, we roll 2 D20s, and whichever's the highest number we take as the amount of characters. Oh, that's shit. I don't even like that. Oh my god, it's even worse. So 9 is so far the biggest one we've got. Do you know what? We'll stick with 9. We'll stick with 9. That was the biggest one we got on the first roll. So we'll do, I guess. What we'll do actually, we'll do 9. Yeah, so we got Beatrice is the first one. So Beatrice, imagine the Bear McCreary music playing as we have the deaths. Oh, hang on. So Karen, oh god, I've messed this up bad. Tyrese died here. Obviously Gregory was first one, yeah. Arat, Tyrese, Karen, Jed, and Jocelyn was somewhere around here. Karen died here. Beatrice. Right, so yeah, Beatrice, first one. Cindy, oh, okay. Taking out the ocean side, I guess. So Alpha's target on the ocean side. So Beatrice and Cindy both taken out. Pretty brutal. Also taking out Maggie and Abraham's son, Herschel Jr. Oh my god. That's brutal. Gage. Oh, okay. Gage has gone too. Oh. Gage as well. She's Alpha's targeting the kids again. I guess Cindy's not a kid, technically. Tammy Rose, okay. We will do a main character as well. So Tammy Rose too. Oh, I veto Shiva. It's funny at first, but I kind of hate the fact that she beheads the tiger. Wait, did I actually remove it? I think I might have removed it. Dr. Carson. No, because I shuffled, right? Is Shiva still there? Oh, yeah. Dr. Carson. So Dr. Carson's taken out, which actually, I think it was the other Dr. Carson in the comics, but that's kind of comic accurate. Dr. Carson. And then we'll do 7, and then we'll do 2 mains. I think that's what we'll do. So we'll do 1 more here. Oh, it's Alec. The highwayman that no one would have cared about anyway. So Alec as well. He's like the most minor one. And then our 2 main characters. Oh! We've got Beth. Damn. And I think this is the time. I think this is the time. I think this is it, guys. I think this is it. So Beth is beheaded along with Sophia. Fuck. Yikes. Do you know what? I think that's actually kind of cool. I think that's a perfect time for Sophia to go. To really like, Carl's leadership is really tested here. He's been the leader of the Alexandria for a little bit. You know, he's fairly young. Some people question him, and this is and he loses the rock that he's had for all these years. You know, after losing all of his parents, everyone he's lost. You know, this is like someone left from the Atlanta camp. I think the last person actually from the Atlanta camp. Thinking about it, yeah, everyone else is gone. Wow. Like, the only season 1 character left. Losing Sophia like that, fucking brutal. And obviously for Zach, losing Beth, and for Maggie, losing Beth, is like, you know, so I think those 2 character deaths would be like crazy moment, and like really rally them up. Plus, you kind of have this new generation, you know, you have Ron and Lydia. Yeah, I think that works. Anyway, let's do a chaos roll. Let's spice shit up, as one would say. 51. I swear to God. Gun training goes wrong and someone loses an eye. I don't like that. I want something big. 52. Oh, there's a traitor among the group. Okay. We're all for a minor character and they kill 1 person each. Okay. There's a traitor in the group. We're all for a minor character. They kill 1 person. Oh, Sadiq is the traitor. Oh, I kind of like that. So Sadiq is a traitor, and he kills 1 person each season. Okay, so to start, I'm gonna say, yeah, okay. So who does he kill? Who does he kill now? He kills Rachel, just wiping out the ocean side. Okay, I like this. So Sadiq's obviously a whisperer. He's a traitor. He kills Rachel from the ocean side. And do you know what? I'm going to mix up the little chaos roll. I'm going to instead roll. I'm going to roll. Fuck it. I'm going to roll a D10. No, a D8. How many people does Sadiq take out? 4. So Rachel's 1. So 3 more people. So Sadiq joins the Whisperers. Maybe actually he was a part of the Whisperers years ago when we found him, and we find this out. So he kills Rachel, Valon, Valon, whatever you say it. The Frenchman. He kills the Frenchman. He kills Rachel. He kills Jerry. And yeah, so like maybe it's like to start the season. Obviously, like the borders and Kelly, damn. Yeah, it's like the border's been set and all that, but then Sadiq comes out of nowhere. And does Sadiq heads? He gets away with it. Tails, he doesn't. Okay, so who kills Sadiq? Damn. This is crazy. Maggie. Oh, okay. Killed by Maggie. Brutally, perhaps. So Maggie takes out Sadiq after learning of his treason. So yeah, he takes out... Maybe it's actually like a community meeting about the Whisperer War. Because you would have Rachel from the Oceanside. Valon from... didn't I say he'd be Hilltop? Yeah, so he'd be from Hilltop. Jerry from Kingdom, and obviously Kelly representing her group, and like Sadiq, maybe Sadiq was representing Alexandria actually, and then he ended up taking out like all these representatives and like trying to stage some sort of attack. But Maggie figured out that he'd like staged it, right? She somehow like deduced that he was bullshitting and was like, yeah, she like ends up killing Sadiq for it. So crazy way to start the season off. Mad way to start the season off. I'm not going to add Coco, but we would add Jules. Coco just never existed. Where are you, Coco? Boo! Faded into the mist. Jules will add, though. I mean, there's no one else at the Oceanside now, so someone needs to be the new ruler of Oceanside. I guess it was Jules. This one is not applicable because we killed Negan. Who kills Brandon? Who cares? Carl. Carl said, "No, Brandon, you cannot defect to the Whisperers." And yeah, we kill him. Oh, actually, all these deaths were in technically season 10. So I'll just move these down here. Sadiq's death. So who, on top of Sadiq being a traitor, Dante was also a traitor. But who fell victim for the second traitor and gets the Sadiq death that he was spared from for being a traitor? Dog. Dog. So Dog was barking at whoever was doing something. Dog sniffed out. Yeah, maybe they trained Dog to like find the traitor, and then Dante ended up killing Dog. And then who kills Dante? Avenging Dog. Oh, it's Ron. Yes. Maybe it was Ron's dog. It was Ron, Ron, Lydia, and Dog were surviving in the apocalypse together. It was Ron's dog, so he ends up beating the ever-living shit out of Dante. I kind of like that. We had Gamma. Sure thing. Now, who gets the Laura death? The most undignified death, slammed against the cell doors. Oh, it goes to Addy. Poor Addy. R.I.P. Keely Mac. But you survived the Pikes. She survived the Pikes, just not the Beta's attack. Sorry. Done. And then that was Addy. And then the Gamma attack. So Gamma... Okay, the Gamma attack. Sounds like a space, like Star Trek thing. Gamma stabbed and killed by Beta. Who was stabbed and killed by Beta and gutted like a... Ooh, Connie? Damn! Already lost Kelly. Lost Kelly to Sadiq's treachery. And now also we've lost Connie to Beta. And then who's bitten, saves the kids, but then sadly has to smack himself. It's Rodney. Damn. So Rodney saves all the kids, but unfortunately he's bitten and he has to take himself out to spare the kids from... But doesn't do a great job, and then Judith ends up putting him down, because you got to think at this point Judith will be old as well, so that'd be kind of cool. Who was that? That was Rodney, wasn't it? Rodney. We lost all the kids. Well, I mean all the Hilltop kids. Oh, Herschel got a death, didn't he, as well? Herschel was piped. Oh yeah, that's also like Maggie would be absolutely distraught thinking about it. I didn't think about this because Maggie and Abe lost their son, but also Maggie lost Beth, so she'd be an absolute animal. So when she killed Sadiq before, yeah, she probably like ripped him to shreds. Wow. So Rodney also, yeah, Rodney didn't make it. Where the hell's Rodney? Let me just quickly add all these guys, because of course Lydia will be with Ron. I feel like Lydia would be reaching main character status soon. So extra hilltop battle, because why not? Well, the reason why is because we've not got many characters, but okay. I was gonna go to Luke. Damn. So we have lost all of the Magna group. Well, almost. Apart from Magna and Yumiko. But we lost the siblings, and now we lost Luke too. Very sad. Poor Jules. She'll be very sad. And then which three head off to the hilltop? So I'm going to arbitrarily decide, I think. And what I'm going to go with is... Well, Eugene makes sense, because he's still alive, so why not? We'll go with Eugene. And I think, well, shit, Zeke's alive. And also Yumiko's alive. So, do you know what? We'll go with that. We'll just go with the original people. Because all three are still alive. And that means Yumiko gets to be a main character moving forward. And then who kills Alpha? Who infiltrates... Oh, actually, should we have someone else who infiltrates the group? Oh, actually, Eric? It being Eric actually is kind of funny. Yeah, why not? We'll have it be Eric. So, yeah, he infiltrated the Whisperers. He got Alpha to trust him. He ends up killing her. That's kind of funny. Main character finale, death to account for the Michonne exit. Now, I am thinking there's not many main characters, but there's also not many minor characters, really. So, that's just how it is. It can't be Carl. Don't be silly. It can't be Ezekiel. It can't be Eugene. So really, it's down to Abraham, Zach, Ron, or Eric, really. We'll see who it lands on first. Whilst they're doing that, I can add Elijah here. So Elijah shows up. Now, Elijah, I'm just going to say, is from a distant community that we've been trading with, that the group's been trading with, called Meridian. And so Elijah's like, come to help. And everyone else he's with is red shirts who will die. Ezekiel, okay. So Ezekiel is the main character death. He dies, probably directing the herd away. Again, this accounts for the Michonne exit, because we're not doing any spin-offs, of course, as we normally do. So yeah, Ezekiel dies, leading the herd away. And I think that's quite fitting, because especially if he's lost the kingdom and all that, like leading the herd away, being that final sacrifice. He brought the communities together to fight this war, and then he dies as a result. I think there's some beauty in that, Who also got the Beatrice death, so she dies whilst helping Ezekiel in his master plan. Magna, after she said goodbye to Yumiko as well. Yumiko's gone on the mission. They've broken up. They've lost so much, and then Magna dies. Poor Yumiko has to come back to find out that Magna also didn't make it. That is brutal for Yumiko. And then who kills Beta? Who takes out the big man? Damn. I'm giving it to Zach. Poor Carl doesn't get any revenge, I guess. But I guess he also helped to direct the war, so he was more of a... Maybe that was like part of his arc as well. It's like learning not to be grief-stricken and just attack Alpha and just look for revenge. It's to look for a smart way to defeat the Whisperers. And yeah, Zach and Beta going at it, and Zach being the one to kill him. And maybe Carl was also involved in that fight. They like they two-teamed Beta. Who was banging Leah? Not gonna lie, I feel like it's got to be a minor character, because all these characters, like Zach was mourning Beth, Eric's gay, Carl obviously is probably too young to be with Leah, Eugene is off in the hilltop, so it wouldn't matter either. I mean, I guess it could be Abraham, but oh no, definitely not Judith. Although at this point Judith would be a main character, so to be fair, so we can up her there. And then, who is banging Leah? No! Leah, stop. Leave the children alone, Leah. Not for that. Okay, Leah's got a problem here. We're gonna go with Alden. Okay, so during the skip, Alden was banging Leah. Okay, that's what we'll go with. Add main character back who went on trip. NA, but cool. Add random character for Meridian. Oh yeah, so Elijah and another Meridian person came. So who would be the Meridian person? No, his mother. No. Here's an Egan. Nope. 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 Commonwealth Resident 3. No. I don't want some random comic book character. Teen Kid 2. From World Beyond. We'll call her Jordan, because that's the actress's name. So we got Jordan, everyone. Jordan joined the group. So she was with Elijah from Meridian, from this faraway community that obviously was attacked from the Reapers. Now, in this universe, there was just a community that we were trading with that was quite far away. But the only survivors were Elijah and Jordan, sadly. So we've decided to go and take back Meridian, this other community, because obviously it has a large stockpile of food and it was part of the coalition, so that's why we've gone. Even though Alexandria is pretty much destroyed, Hilltop's gone, Kingdom's gone, Sanctuary's gone, Oceanside's gone. So Gage Dev, Shiva. So Shiva gets trapped in the train cart, and I guess I'm gonna say I guess Maggie and Carl like make the hard decision to leave Shiva to get devoured by walkers. Wow. That is, yikes. What a way for Shiva to go out. And then Cold Death, so this person gets their hand chopped off and then their throat slit. Marco. See, I think this is such a good idea. Getting rid of Cole, Duncan, Agatha, and Frost, but still having their deaths in place. It just adds that like level of threat to the Reapers. And it's probably what they should have done anyway. Like, kill people like Marco off, you know? And then on top of that, Duncan's death. So this person's getting shish kebabbed and then eventually bleeds out and dies later on. Jules! Damn! The last of the Oceanside. Completely wiped out. Yeah, we'll say that's the end of the Oceanside then, I guess. And then Agatha's death. So this character gets devoured by walkers in the woods. Pretty pathetic death, really. Yeah, I can see it going to Earl. Yeah, he's older. You know, he's an older guy. So Earl, R.I.P. to Earl. And Lydia, I think, probably should be upgraded to main character as well. I know we've got a lot of main characters here, but like Lydia, you know, she was important last season, so I don't know. And then who gets the Frost death? So this person gets kidnapped by Pope, interrogated, and then eventually killed. Oh, Scott. Goes to Scott. Damn. So, R.I.P. Scott. So we lose Jules. We lose Shiva, Jules, Marco, and Scott. Interrogated. Damn. Oh, shit. I probably should have added Alpha and Beta there. Okay. Now, who is... So that's Scott. So Scott's tortured, but he holds out. I'm going to say that Alden was, you know, at the base and playing the spy. Who kills Pope, though? And no, Leah's not allowed to do it. Ooh, Ron. I kind of like that. Ron infiltrates the base, and he's the one to take out Pope. Man, Ron really stepping up. I gotta give it to him. So, yeah, Pope's taken out by Ron. Who kills Carver? Listen, I'm going to give it to Carl. Carl got to do something. Carl's the one who takes out Carver, okay? And then who gets the Alden death? So this particular person was injured during the initial battle with the Reapers, left in the church, and then discovered to be dead. Judith is immune this season. Now, Carl can die. Not in the Reaper arc. But he can die in the Commonwealth arc. But Alden... I mean... Not, ooh, it's like a reverse. So Alden goes back to find Maggie. Shit, Maggie season 2 character. Like, we're really kicking off the season. And then that's a shit death for Maggie. But maybe we actually get to see her fight, like an injured Maggie. She's obviously only got one leg anyway. And then she's been slashed and injured. And then she's... and then Abraham coming back there to find his beloved Maggie is dead. As well, Alden would feel pretty guilty. Fuck, I actually kind of like that, yeah. And, like, yeah, we're taking out the last season 2 character. Pretty ballsy. But it is the final season, so why not? Shit. There we are. And then we'll add these guys. So our great little Commonwealth friends are added. Okay. Now we got Marco's death. So Leah obviously going crazy. Shoots and kills. It's one of our favourite minor characters. Who will it be? Laura. You know what? That's okay. That's a more dignified death for Laura. R.I.P. Laura. Where are you? You'll be missed. And then who is the one to take out Leah? Now I feel like it's gotta be. It can't be Eugene. I think Zach could work, I think Zach could work. Like, maybe Leah actually kidnaps, instead of kidnapping Alden, because obviously Alden has feelings for her still, maybe. It's not as complicated with the Daryl thing. Maybe she ends up kidnapping Abraham, and she's about to kill Abraham, because obviously Abraham went after her for revenge, for what happened with Maggie. Even though she wasn't exactly involved in Maggie's death. But Abraham's going crazy, and Zach was the one to end up taking out Leah. And, like, Zach and Abraham have, like, a close bromance, because they both were with the Green sisters. And now, I guess the only Green family member remaining is RJ, who is Beth and Zach's kid? Yeah. No. Yeah. Beth and Zach's kid, yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. That kind of works. Who kills Sebastian? Who takes out Sebastian? Ooh, Judith. I like that. Judith being a little evil, maybe, perhaps. Possibly. That could work. And then, who then takes out Lance? That landed on Carl, didn't it? And then who loses an arm? Oh, it's Lydia. So Lydia gets to lose an arm. Cool. Like she normally does. So yeah, I'm going to say Carl takes out Lance. Lydia, one arm. Runs there for her, though. As like, I helped once when Abraham lost his eye. I mean, I helped with that, right? And then who gets shot in the finale? I think this has to be Judith, just for that whole Carl connection. Because obviously Carl was with Sophia, but they were like raising Judith together like their own child. Yeah. And then final chaos roll. 45. I'm just going to say, someone gets bit and loses a leg. Kind of boring. Nah, kind of boring. We've already got someone losing an arm anyway. 13. 1, 3. The character who most recently died an identical twin shows up and joins the group. Who was it who most recently died? I think it would have been... Wait, who would it have been? Lance. So Lance's brother shows up. Wait, do I have another Lance picture? Let me see. Do I have a Lance pic? Which Lance? Oh yeah, I do actually. There we are, guys. Who could this be? This could be Lance, Bance, Sance, Wance, Rance. Rance has joined. Rance Hornsby. He shows up. I mean, he would have just been here the whole time, really. Rance Hornsby is here. Okay, who cares? Right, and do we final chaos roll? Wait, oh. Whatever. How many deaths are we having in the finale of the season? Oh god, did not mean to do that. Five? Don't like 5. 16's too many. 16 again. 7. 12. No, it's fine. What we'll do, we'll go with the original one, which was 5. 5 minors and... Wait, 5 minors and how many major characters die? 2. Okay, that's what we'll do. So 5 minor characters die and 2 major characters die. So who are the 5 minor characters who die during the final battle? So we lose Max... Max and Mercer? Fuck. Yikes. Okay. I'll try and figure something out here. And we lose Zach? Damn. And we'll save that last one for later. But so we've lost Zach. We lost the Mercer siblings. We lost Jordan. No. Jordan died. Okay, so we lost Jordan, the Mercer siblings, and Zach. So, Max, Mercer, Jordan, Annie. That's okay. Annie's a nobody at this point anyway. Annie's just a rando. So we lose Annie, Max, Mercer. I said 5, right, for these guys because I wanted to stay consistent. So we lose one more minor character. One more minor character does not make it out alive. Again, they probably just die during the herd attack. I think Mercer probably goes up against... Oh, no, I don't like that. But fuck it. He's not got immunity. So Zach and Beth's kid. So, and Zach dying too. And then obviously Zach's going. We're losing Zach in the finale. And Lydia. Damn. So I guess she dies from the infection. Maybe that's what happens. Lydia dies from the infection. Okay. So... Lydia dies from her infection from a chopped off arm, sadly. It's a bit of a lot, and Ron's obviously absolutely distraught. We of course lose Mercer, fights his army and dies, goes down like fighting the bad part of the army, but you know, that revolutionizes the rest. And maybe Abraham takes over as like the new head of the army, like the one-eyed big ginger nut. I think that's perfect. Max sadly doesn't make it either. She dies fighting the walkers, but she's like, I'm glad I met you and I'm glad I die like this to Eugene. So he's sad and upset, but he can like devote his life now to like building the railway, kind of like with the comics. Jordan just kind of is a casualty along with Annie. Yeah. And obviously Lydia being the big sort of final tragic death. Like they managed to save Judith, who was shot, but they don't save. They're unable to save Lydia. Like maybe they have to make that choice. And maybe, I don't know, maybe after the 1 year time skip, Carl and Ron, the Rawl relationship, Carl and Ron are a couple. Fuck it. Carl goes gay in the end, okay? I mean, it was Nick Stillino was my gay daddy who requested it. So yeah, in the end, Carl and Ron are a happy couple. Carl's obviously looking after his sister as well, who's, you know, pretty much almost an adult, along with, oh shit, of course, we lost RJ. Now, Zach's death is a lot more tragic in the finale, because Zach's death, I think, like the whole Rosita thing, so he's looking after his little son, but when he falls at on the walkers, instead of getting up like Rosita does, he just gets devoured. So he falls off the pipe with his little son, his and Beth's son, and then he just gets devoured. So that's how that one goes down. And do you know what? Fuck it. They are executing Pamela. They are. I feel like Carl's like, yeah, fuck it, kill that woman, kill that woman. So yeah, Pamela has been killed. Now here's the real question: who is the governor of the Commonwealth? Yumiko. Very random. But Carl wants to go back to Alexandria. So, yeah, we'll say Yumiko became the leader of the Commonwealth. We'll do a little end for all of them. How about that? Yumiko, leader of Commonwealth. And I'll say Carl and Ron go to Alexandria with Judith and rule it. Abraham goes back to Hilltop. And I think Eugene honors Max by inventing stuff. Inventing stuff. Oh! Inventing stuff I can't spell. Earl died, didn't he? Did I say Earl died? Oh yeah, he was the Agatha death, wasn't he? I swear Tammy Rose died as well. I swear Tammy Rose died. She was a Pike. Huh. How did I miss her? Sometimes these things happen. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, Eugene honors Max by inventing stuff. Abraham goes back to the Hilltop. I think Eric... Eric kind of went to Oceanside. Did we say he went to Oceanside? Well, he killed Grandma. I feel like Eric would be like... Actually, no. I think Eric goes back to Hilltop. Eric goes back to Hilltop. Goes to Hilltop to rule it. I feel like that. And I think Abraham is just a soldier now. He's a soldier. Abraham is head of Commonwealth Army. That's what we'll say. Tobin died. I swear to God, Tobin died. He was the Olivia death, wasn't he? Yeah, I remember. What the hell, man? Tobin, you're dead. Okay. DJ. I mean, the rest of the characters, who really cares? They're doing and maybe, what did I call him? Rance Hornsby. Rance Hornsby. He takes over the Hornsby job. That's what we'll say. So there we go. That is the rewrite. I hope you enjoyed. I tried to get this video under 2.5 hours. I always end up going over 2 hours. I wanted it to be under 2 hours, but there we go. 2 hours and 11 minutes or 12 minutes. That'll do. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Tell me your thoughts. Bye.